Hey guys, Max here. Are you considering renting out a room in your house? It's a good way to make a little bit of extra income every month. I've been doing it for about 5 years now. Every single person, thank goodness, has paid me on time. Oh no, has paid me but not on time. Here is the lease agreement I have used, and let's go through it together to see if it's the right one for you. All right, first and foremost, to access all the resources here, especially the lease, maxmymoney.org/rent your room. The link will be below in the description. You will have access to the roommate questions, access to the room advertisement. Here's the landing page. Type in your name, type in your email. You'll get the roommate questions, 17 questions I use on every single phone call when I'm screening someone. The room advertisement, what I've used on Facebook and Craigslist to get the right person. Very in-depth, very useful. The roommate agreement, the actual house rules of the house, and then obviously the lease agreement, which is what we're going to be going through today. So let's go through the lease. You'll download it, obviously. You'll make a copy for yourself. All the instructions are right there. And you'll just simply type in your information where the underscores are. Very basic stuff here. I have a couple things in here that make it a little more unique and specific. You obviously want to spell out all the terms, spell out everything to make sure everyone is on the same page. Starts on a certain day, ends on a certain day. I do month-to-month agreements because it makes it a lot easier in case someone wants to move in a few months. If they don't want to be there, I don't want them there. Then obviously the rent amount, the deposit. I always make someone pay a deposit, first month's rent. If the rent is $500 a month, they need to be able to have the first month's rent plus the security deposit. 500 plus 500 equals 1,000. If they don't have the first month's rent and security deposit saved up, they're probably not good with their finances, and they're probably going to stiff you at some point. Make sure their finances are there. Obviously, a security deposit, talking about that. And then obviously spelled out, if they default, what are their rights, what are your rights, and what you can do. You want to make sure everyone's on the same page and everyone understands that if rent is not paid, there will be consequences. Miscellaneous provisions. Obviously, I have parking spaces, so I make sure everyone knows, they're parking their house, they're parking their car at their own risk. And if you have renter's insurance, having insurance would be important. Last thing you want is somebody coming over, one of their friends, them hurting themselves and then suing you. You'd rather them go through their insurance. I like putting this. Resident agrees to comply with all laws, orders, and government regulations which affect the house. A lot of people attempt to do illicit things. They think they can do illicit things because it's their room, but that's simply not how life works. If you were doing illicit things, that's not going to work out. Then obviously no alterations. I put some time into painting, making sure the fixtures are all set up. The last thing you want is someone moving out with a bunch of holes in the wall. You have to replaster. If they just don't make any alterations, it's a lot easier. Then obviously just, miscellaneous things, one vehicle, the room shall be occupied by the undersigned resident. The last thing you want is saying, oh, but I put my friend on the lease, he can live here too. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You want to make sure they initial this. Resident has examined the house. Make sure everything looks good to go. Late fees. No animals. I say no animals because when you rent out multiple rooms, if everyone had a dog or a cat, it would be complete mayhem and literally a zoo in the house. So you want to make sure everyone's on the same page there. The whole point of this agreement, though, is to make sure everyone is on the same page. The last thing you want is to have a handshake deal to not actually be on the same page with someone and then say, oh, I thought I could pay the rent on the 10th. Well, no, my mortgage is due on the 1st, therefore your rent is due on the 1st. I had somebody one time say, well, but by law I can pay it later. No, you signed a contract between you and I on this date, and these are the provisions. Make sure you read them. Make sure they understand everything. I've had people move into my house, and it's the first time they've ever moved out of mom and dad's house, so they have no idea how the process works. I've had to teach a guy how to use a washing machine. I mean, I do it. It makes me laugh that I think about it, but some people just don't have the same experiences I have, and that's okay. You have to make sure everyone's on the same page. That's why this lease agreement makes everyone on the same page, and everyone knows what are the rights, responsibilities, what are the expectations, and what is to be expected. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please make sure to go to maxmymoney.org/rent your room. The link will be below in the description, so you can get all the resources, the lease agreement, the questions, the roommate agreement, and also the advertisement. Lots of good resources there. I will catch you guys in the next one, and happy renting.